A lot of us have loved that movie, The Titanic. I'm always asking people, what do you think happened? And they were like, remember, they were so arrogant. The guy was so arrogant, nothing can happen to this ship, this Titanic. And I said, that's not really what happened. You see what happened? How many people here have ever gotten up and said, oh, I got up on the wrong side of the bed today. I don't feel good. They just didn't feel like doing the right thing that day. And so the Titanic, if you study and read the story, you will learn that there was a cranky old operator. He probably got up on the wrong side of the bed that day, and he was warned, not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 6 times he was warned that there was danger up ahead. He was warned that there was ice and that there was an iceberg, but he didn't listen. Matter of fact, he told them, shut up. Shut up. When they tried to help him, he told them, shut up. I'm already working on something. And then he turned off that radio. You see, what was important to him was to bring your messages to you, but his not doing well that day, he probably should have stayed in the bed. It cost thousands of lives, right? And that not only affected those lives, but their family members' lives. So that's another reason I say we should always do well. This is my own personal story, something that I went through. I worked for a major transportation company, and I was part of the business development department. New business, we got to bring new business into the company. Oh yeah, we went out and brought new business in. We bidded on proposals. We won those contracts, major contracts. They would take the contract to the CEO. He would have to sign it. And then at the end of that, a lot of people would come to my desk, some of the managers that reported to my boss. I worked for the head of the department. And they would come and say, we left too much money on the table. We underbid that contract. And I would say, well, why didn't you say that to the boss? Why didn't you say that to the CEO before he signed? You let him sign it, and then all of a sudden we start losing a lot of money, and the CEO said we have to get out of some of these contracts. We had to pay like $900,000, $750,000 to get out of those contracts. So guess what happened one day? Because these people decided not to say anything, they told me, Della, you never go over the boss's head. Even if that meant doing the wrong thing and not doing well, I couldn't understand it. Well, when the big CEO came to our department one day and told 10 people, here's your pink slip, let 10 people go, I cried. One man cried. He was so bitter. Why was he bitter? He had reason to be. He had just had a brand new baby. He had just bought a brand new house. His wife wasn't working. And so now he found himself out of a job, all because they didn't do well. You see, everything we do affects others too. I needed to change my cell phone. So I went into the retailer one evening, and the young clerk there said, 10 minutes to 6, 10 minutes to 6. You got 10 minutes and you're coming in here with only 10 minutes left? You don't even know what I need. You don't even want to listen. You're just telling me 10 minutes. Maybe what I wanted to do would only take you 2 minutes. But you're telling me 10 minutes. I said, well, it's obvious this is not your company, but I want you to know this. Even though this is not your company, that's how you get a paycheck. That's how you meet your obligations. What obligations? You like to pay your rent, you want to pay your car note, you want to pay your mortgage, you want to wear your nice fancy clothes, you may want to take a vacation, you may want to pay for your kids to go to college. I don't know what it is you want to do, but I truly believe that we get to always do well. Always. You just got to make a choice that I'm going to do well, because what I do can affect others too. So my thing to that young man was this: if the company folded tomorrow or closed, you would be upset. You would be without a job, and you'd want to blame them. You see, because I'm a good listener. You'd want to blame them, but it was you that said 10 minutes to 6. You got 10 minutes. I had a girlfriend and we were talking one night. I said, is work something you get to do or is work something you have to do? She said, something I have to do. I said, no. Work is not something we have to do. Work is something we get to do. Is that right? I can tell you it is, because I traveled for a major corporation all over the country. I was a corporate trainer, and in every major downtown city, Miami, Philadelphia, I would always see homeless people. That's why I know work is something we get to do, we don't have to do. Because I told myself, I don't have to go to work. I don't have to have all these fancy clothes. I don't have to do that. That's why work is something we get to do, because we made a decision that we want a car, we want to drive all these fancy cars and have homes and do all of that. So work is something we get to do. That's why I say every day when you get up, you ought to shout. Remember that song, Shout? Make me want to shout. Yeah, makes you want to shout, because you know you're getting to pay whatever. Definitely customers, always looking for customers, but opportunities to put on workshops and seminars, different ones. My thing is always giving people hope and helping them to build their business. So that's what I look for, is to bring people together, have a workshop or have a seminar to help you grow.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Does anyone know where you can get help with fundraising? So, because I know some organizations that they need that.
What do you mean fundraising? Tell me what you mean by that.
Because they're 503c.
Something new, but they should not have to spend their dollars to try to bring a customer back when I was already there. But we don't look at it like that. We look at it like, it's not my job. So many people have that attitude. I went into Singular one evening and the guy was like, 10 minutes to 7. Got 10 minutes. How you gonna come in at 10 minutes to 7 for me to take care of you? I said, well, it's obvious it's not your company. But what you need to realize is you're still getting a paycheck. And if the company folds, guess what? You fold. And then you wonder why the company folded. Well, what kind of service were you giving? So as you go through life, look for ways to serve. If you are unhappy or dissatisfied serving in your current capacity, what I say is become still, meditate. Say, dear God, I surrender this day to you. What would you have me do today? What would you have me do today? Remember these things as you go about serving and meeting the needs of others. My contribution counts. My action or inaction affects and touches the lives of many people. I get up, we got 24 hours in every day. We spend at least 12 hours, and you calculate it, you get up, you shower, you eat, you get dressed, you get in traffic, you drive to work, you have to spend 8 or 9 hours there, and then you have to drive back home. So you spend half of your day earning a living. You get to spend 4 hours with your family, and the other 8 hours you probably sleep. So if you take all of that time, then why not be the best and give the best service? As a servant, just know that there are no triumphs without troubles. When problems are encountered, you must face them and take action to handle them. Move forward to meet your objectives. I read a story recently about a farmer that had a donkey, and the donkey fell in the well. And the donkey was whining and crying, and the farmer said, you know what? Let me take this donkey out of its misery. Let me go ahead and bury it. I need to cover the well up anyway. So he went around to his neighbors and he said, I need help to go ahead and bury the donkey. So they came and they were digging and putting dirt over in the well, He didn't hear any more cries. And he looked over in the well, and guess what was happening? Every time they were throwing the dirt in, the donkey was so smart. Now, we're supposed to be smarter than the donkey. I want you to remember that. The donkey was shaking the dirt off and burying it under his feet. And they kept doing it, and guess what? He lifted himself up. So you're going to have trials and tribulations, but guess what? You better be like that donkey and find a way to get out of it. Because people are there to help you if you ask for help. If your company has a bad reputation, we are the company. We can rebuild that reputation. Why would people come to us, or why would we want them to come to us and do business?